Our legislative leaders who we elected are retiring from office and going to work for America's enemies. That's one of the revelations in our new book, Screwed, and it's what I want to talk about over lunch today. Some of the top leaders who we trusted and elected to office after they've retired from their congressional careers have gone to work for America's worst enemies. One of the worst offenders is a Republican, Bob Livingston. He was the majority leader of the Senate, and he was about to be named Speaker after Gingrich quit, and he was involved in a scandal, so he had to give it up. And of course, he never became Speaker, but he was the majority leader of the Congress. He went to work for the Guadaffi regime, for the dictator Guadaffi. And the issue he represented him on is that when the American victims of the Lockerbie crash, the Lockerbie terrorist action that was performed by one of Gaddafi's operatives, sued Libya and then wanted to attach Libyan assets in the United States so they could get paid, Gephardt defended Gaddafi and lobbied against legislation to permit them to tap Libyan assets. Absolutely revolting, nauseating. Democrats are just as bad. Dick Gephardt, the former Democratic floor leader in the House of Representatives. In the House, he fought like crazy for the Armenian community to condemn the Turkish massacre and genocide of Armenians in 1915. And it was a big issue. Turkish-American relations were upset. Turkey was really out of joint. Gephardt kept pushing the bill. No sooner did he retire than he went to work for the Turkish government and lobbied to kill the resolution he had introduced in the Congress. When he left, he was also in Congress a chief opponent of letting China into the World Trade Organization and correctly predicted how they would rip us off after they got in. By the way, all of our trade issues with China started when they joined the World Trade Organization. There was not a significant deficit with them before. So now Gephardt is a board member of AmericLink Telecom, the American distributor of products made by the Chinese telecommunications company Huawei Technology. And Huawei is a government-linked telecommunications company. And the U.S. government has ruled several times that Huawei cannot operate in the United States as a telephone company because they're worried about intelligence, espionage, preemption of technology, and all kinds of other issues. Gephardt is lobbying for them to get them back in the good graces of the United States government. My friend and my former colleague and client, Trent Lott, represents companies pushing for the Law of the Sea Treaty, something we also talk about in Screwed. The hearings on that treaty start next week, and the ratification will come up in June. This treaty obliges us to hand over half of our royalties from offshore oil drilling to third world countries, and means that the U.S. Navy can no longer guarantee open sea lanes, but the United Nations sets up a judicial body that will adjudicate these disputes, doubtless against our interests. What's the solution to this? We should ban foreign lobbyists. There is no reason, nothing in the First Amendment, that says we have to permit foreign countries to pay Americans to lobby the American government against the interests of the American people. We can ban it. When I worked for Clinton, one of the things I proposed was an executive order banning contacts between executive branch employees and lobbyists for foreign countries. And oh my God, everybody went ballistic, led by Sandy Berger. They all said, oh, this is horrible. That's because when they retired, they all wanted to go to work for these foreign countries. But in Screwed, we give you a whole series of things we need to do to protect ourselves against our leaders after they retire. And by the way, let's hope that Obama retires and goes to work for one of these companies. Thanks a lot for watching, and pick up a copy of Screwed. I think you'll like it. Thanks.